sometimes to get out of maybe a little bit of a slump or the funk we were in a little bit, sometimes you just gotta, a couple of things need to break for you, and it seems like it's a struggle a little bit. So it was a little bit of that tonight, but I thought we came out aggressively early on in the game. I thought when the numbers were even in the game early on, I thought we were the better side. I thought we went after them at that point. When they received the red card, I think we almost relaxed a little bit at that point and took our foot off the gas pedal, and we needed to keep pushing, which we tried to do when we came back out in the second half. We were a little bit fortunate on a couple of shots off the post, but I also thought we were around the goal the whole time. And we had a couple of opportunities where better quality on a crossing, maybe guys leaving their feet inside the box to get on the end of crosses, could have resulted in another goal or two.
We'll open with Don.
What do you know about Fry, and what did you think about Perkins?
Fry is it's a left shoulder, sprain, so we'll see, how it responds over the next few days. It's always a tough situation when you're a reserve goalkeeper coming into a game, and so for Troy, I thought he did well, for that. They're a team that likes to lump a lot of balls in on free kicks, and so they're a little more difficult, especially when you haven't played a lot of games.
Matt.
Has Tyrone ever hit those like that in practice? I don't think he could have struck that.
Yeah, he's hit a few like that at practice. He actually struck it really well. I think he said he did it for the Queen. I'm not sure.
Will?
Going back to Tyrone, what can you kind of say, not just about his goal, but just his night as a whole?
Well, we wanted him to, look to get forward a little bit more, which he did tonight. That was something we talked about during the week, for him to have the confidence to go forward, that we thought we could do that. And especially when they had the player thrown out, we felt that him and Remick could definitely have a bigger impact on the game. We could stay with just the two and Ozzy back there and keep things locked up and really get them forward. But I thought he hit some good crosses. Again, I thought our runs needed to be better at times, but that's something, now, for the first time in a long time, we have actually a full week to train, and, so that'll come along.
Nico.
What was the strategy in the second half, as well as taking Tomas out, putting Craven in? Seemed like things really worked out.
Our strategy in the second half was just to go back to what we were doing early in the first half, which was to be aggressive, look to play balls in behind their defense. The reason for taking Tomas out is I thought he had played a good game. I thought he was good. I thought he was tired at that stage. And if you recall, at that point in the game, Chris Corp, their right fullback, was getting forward all the time. And, Thomas was probably too fatigued at that stage to help out there defensively. So we felt we just needed to get some fresh legs on.
Jackie.
What did you think of Ozzy's first game back, and how he helped contributed today?
It was good. Obviously we had to play him more minutes than we wanted to play him. We talked about that at halftime. We said, look, we've had to make a goalkeeper sub. We probably need you to go 90 minutes. So I wanted him to sit a little more in the second half, not to wander as much as he had done in the first half, because I knew if he did that in the second half, he would eventually run out of gas. So I thought he did a good job of managing his minutes.
Anything particularly you saw tonight that you hadn't seen during that bunk, as you were saying, for this game?
As I said, the ability to be able to train, so we're able to train on a 4-3-3 during the week. We felt that, okay, based on the personnel we had, this was the best way to play, to go ahead and play with three forwards. We're able to work with Thomas about him staying higher. I mean, you saw him get in the box on a number of times and get crosses in rather than being so deep in midfield and beating players in midfield. So all of those were things that we were able to start working on. We were actually able to do a crossing and finishing exercise, which we hadn't been able to do in a long time. So obviously it didn't pay off quite as much as we wanted it to, but we need to continue to work on that.
Steve.
Looked like Alonso brought another layer to the midfield today, brought some creativity back into there and opened up some spaces. It looked like it was vision. Can you speak to how he played tonight and how important it is to have him back, and how did he come through the match?
I mean, certainly Ozzy helps us, and where he helps us the most sometimes is Ozzy's got that quickness to get out of a difficult situation sometimes. And so now all of a sudden his decision and his quickness get us out of something where sometimes we got stuck into. So I wanted to come with Ozzy and Pineda because their understanding with each other is pretty good. So I wanted to, rely on that tonight. And I thought even though Roldan had some good moments and some not so good moments, him as the third guy in midfield, I thought he did a tremendous amount of work. At times he was a little bit too high, and I want him a little deeper in midfield. But he played a ball early in the first half to Thomas, which was a great ball. So I thought his work rate was very important for us in there as well.
Continuing on Ozzy, did you sense a different just sort of mentality in your guys with him and like a calmness? Because you've talked recently about how veterans can sort of have outsized impact on the guys beside them whenever they're in the game.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it certainly helps. Makes it easier. When if I'm a young player like Christian Roldan and I'm on the field with Pineda and Alonso, it's a little bit easier than if I'm on the field with Azira, just because Azira is relatively speaking, from minutes in the league, is also a fairly young player, and so when you got more veteran guys, it makes it easier for that young guy to be able to pick up the bits and pieces he needs to pick up.
Doesn't sound like y'all have a real prognosis on Fry, but is a shoulder sprain for a goalkeeper a kind of thing that can be a multi-week kind of injury?
Yeah, I mean it depends. I mean it wasn't a dislocation. It wasn't a separation. Those are the injuries that you're worried about. So without that happening, it's more okay. It's got to calm down. There's some pain there now because it just happened. It's got to calm down, and then it's almost like as you move forward, it's almost like a pain threshold type of thing, and how quick your range of motion comes back.
Will.
What was the thinking with putting Christian where he was tonight, and how do you feel like he did?
Well, we wanted, like I said, we decided we wanted to come with 3 forwards and we wanted to come with 3 midfielders. I thought Andy's hamstring was still bothering him a little bit. I thought that was pretty evident in the game in Portland. So we decided to come with Christian in this one. But we felt that, he could play a little more of that attacking midfield role. For a guy his size is actually pretty good in the air. He got into the box. I told him before the game I thought he'd get his first goal tonight. I wish he might have, pulled the trigger on the one where he got in the box to his left foot. But, overall, I was happy with what he did.
Nico.
What was your overall thoughts on Lamar Nagel's performance tonight?
Thought it was better tonight. I thought his first touch was better. I thought he put himself into some good situations. Little unfortunate maybe, in terms of some of the balls. I thought he played the cross to Barrett in the second half a little bit late. If he plays that cross earlier, I think Barrett, maybe scores that because he had gotten away from the guy. But those are nitpicky things. But I thought his first touch was better, and he was more aggressive, and he was goal dangerous, and he got into the box a number of times. So he just needs to have some good fortune now when he goes in there.
Jack.
How important is this result, especially given the recent slump?
It's important to get 3 points at home. It's against a quality team like DC. Obviously they rested their players on Tuesday. They're playing like 2 squads, and they have enough depth. I know they got some injuries, but it's not like they have injuries in the same positions like we had. So for us to get the 3 points is critical. It's also important for our confidence.
Coach, anything you want to see your defense do differently to avoid those late opportunities?
Just got to do a better job, obviously, of winning those headers. I mean, on some of the free kicks, I think we dropped in too deep. I think we dropped in too deep in the box, and that's, you got a new goalkeeper back there in Troy, so it's a little bit his responsibility to make sure the guys are pushed up to the 18. Zach tried to really hold the guys up on the 18 on the last free kick, but we needed to do a better job there.